Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, December the 10th, 2021. It is Friday of the second week of Advent. Coming to you from the great parking lot that is part of the parish, but is also the parking lot for our school, the Franciscan school. The covered walkway, the cloister walk between Genthea Hall and Juniper Hall, our lower school, and then going down to Siena Hall, our upper school. We've just had morning prayer, and everyone has begun the day again. This is the week before our final week here at TFS, at the Franciscan school, before Christmas break begins. So there's lots of excitement that is happening. Light of excitement too in our readings on this Friday of the second week of Advent. Again, Isaiah now has God speaking more about what must we do to be able to receive all of those great promises, all those great dreams, all those great hopes that God has through the prophet Isaiah listed for us and enumerated for us. And basically the simple way in which all of these things that God promises will be, not can be, might be, could be, but will be, is in following his commands. Again, what are his commands? Well, they are more than 10 of them because those 10 commandments, as good as they are exceedingly general and do not necessarily cover everything that we need to know, and can be quite problematic at times in being put into effect. It is basically, again, those commands, again, especially that come through the Christ. The command to love everyone, to forgive everyone, everything, to give and never stop giving, to try to understand the hills and valleys that we walk through, the idea of mercy, and to stop being judgmental. Pointing out perhaps where the challenges are in our lives and being able to respond to those challenges, but not cutting people out of our lives and not thinking that anyone is ever worthless, that anyone is ever totally, fully, absolutely wrong, that anyone is of no value and no account. To be able to do that enables us then to see those great promises that God prophesizes through the prophet Isaiah, and allows us to see this world falling into bloom again, flourishing, falling into wonder and into glory, because it is contained in this world. It is a part of what this world is, but it's our own fears and anxieties, our own pains and hurts that we'd rather nurse and hold on to, that prevents us from seeing this, that prevents us from seeing the great promise of God that is possible and capable of unfolding in our midst here and now today. The gospel, again, is an interesting connection to this, because the only way that we can follow, the things that God asks us to do through Christ is recognizing who Jesus is recognizing, what is at stake, is recognizing what's important. But again, Jesus uses this wonderful imagery, this wonderful metaphor of petulant children, who basically taunt each other left and right and get nothing done because all they do is taunt. All they live for is the taunting. And so if we only just taunt each other, if we only try basically to say, we want to see this, and when we see it, we ignore it or we reject it or whatever it is, well then any of the hope, any of the dream that God projects and God forecasts through Isaiah will never come to pass. We will never see it, or else it will take so much time that we will lose hope. We will lose the commitment. We will lose the desire to want to see, this wonderful world bloom into what it is that God has intended it to be. To be attentive to who it is that is speaking to us of the truth, of the meaning, of the purpose, of what is important in our life is something that we as believers are always asked, to be attentive to in our own lives, to be aware of, so that we can be able to help other people see what is true amongst all the lies, all the contradictions, all of the pain and hurt, all of our own agendas, all of our own fears, to get past all of that, to understand this great truth that a God who comes to us is a God of love. A God who comes to us is a God who wants to heal us. A God who comes to us is a God who knows we cannot do anything on our own, try as we might, as much as we might. It is only through being with this God, living with this God, living in hope with this God, listening to this God, that the world blooms into wonder, beauty, and glory. And may the Lord give you his peace.